Hey guys, it's Wednesday, 29th. It's been 12 days since my first prolotherapy treatment for the shoulder, and things are still sensitive. I I can I can do stuff like motion my shoulder like this without any issue. Um, Let me move a little. I can do this, without really any trouble. But if I do anything I'm used to yawning and like stretching, like doing this motion. This motion still, when I do it, I'm like, oh, I can't, I shouldn't be doing that, and I put my arm down, and then it'll it'll burn for 30 seconds or something like that. It's not like super painful, but it definitely lets me know that something is still not quite right. Um, I still have issues holding things, like even just holding like 2 pounds, a bag of groceries or something like that with my left arm. Still have some issues. I can still tell it's not normal, that it's still been affected. It's not like, debilitating pain or anything like that, but it's just not normal yet. So it still feels affected, which in one way mentally is kind of good because it feels like it's doing something. Um, and with that segue, relating to all of the muscles in my back that Dr. Fullerton worked on, like the trap and the levator and the rhomboid and the spinal erectors on the other side. Those all seem to have settled down quite a bit from the treatment, and this is all pure hypothetical on my part, my very non uh, medical degree. But I think what's going on with me is that in the first week there's a lot of inflammation going on due to the dextrose and the blood and stuff like that. And because of that, muscles are swollen and they don't, they're activated from the irritation of the dextrose in the blood, and that makes everything seems a little more stable. But now that things have calmed down, I imagine there's a lot less inflammation after the first week. Uh, Things have kind of reverted a little bit back to the way they were before. Getting out of bed now kind of hurts again. Um, I find myself kind of wanting to crack my neck more. I'm not doing that. I'm trying not to do that. Just because I don't think that's helping me. And I'm going back to trying to release trigger points in my neck with a lacrosse ball. So, um, psychologically, that kind of bothers me because it's like, oh, I'm back to the way that I was before, but I don't. It's not as bad as the way it was before. So I think for me, this is just me, but everybody's different. But what I'm experiencing, like I'm down here in terms of like feeling good, and then like the week after the injections, not including like the day of and the day after, uh, I suddenly like feel like, oh wow, a lot of progress has been made, and then the inflammation dies down and comes down to like here. So like we're still better than still better than when I started. But when you have that taste of like normalcy and like, oh wow, everything is working the way it should, and you fall off of that, you feel like maybe you're failing somehow, or am I doing anything wrong? Am I doing anything that's reversing the process? I start to kind of wig out a little bit about it, but I just have to keep in mind that this is a long-term thing. I have to have long-term vision. I'm going to see Dr. Fullerton in almost, 7 weeks from now, because it's almost 2 weeks from my first treatment. And he wants to see me out 10 weeks, 9 to 10 weeks between treatments. So there's a lot of time. So the main thing in my mind is to just stay the course and to not just say, oh, screw it, and just give up on it. I really believe that this is something that's going to be helpful for me, and it can be. I just have to keep telling myself that don't worry about what's going on right now. Worry about what's going to go on in in 9 weeks. And in 9 weeks, if I'm still like it's super painful, then if I'm where I'm at, then I probably should be concerned. But I mean, right now, I mean the healing process has just begun, and it takes a long time for the body to heal itself. A muscle tear, a muscle sprain, or whatever, it doesn't magically occur, repair itself in a week, and neither does it work with the labrum. So just have to stay the course, keep long-term focus, and hopefully every week I will be getting better. Speaking of, almost 2 weeks since seeing Dr. Fullerton, on Friday I am going to be able to do 10 minutes of the elliptical. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to doing something. I think I can also do 10 minutes of the treadmill, not running, but what I'm probably going to do is treadmill and slight incline, and have it kind of fast where I'm breathing a little hard, but I'm still walking. Basically, it's like what powerlifters do for conditioning. That's kind of what I'm doing. I would want to hold dumbbells, but I'm kind of going to play conservative with my shoulder. I mean, a pound, 2 pounds of groceries still kind of affects me, and it's just not worth it to me to reverse any of the healing or anything of the process. I just had to be conservative and just go with it. To be honest, I want to do the treadmill rather than the elliptical because that motion with my shoulders, I actually don't want to do that pulling because I'm afraid that I'll want to really use my arms and not hurt myself, but take a step backwards. So I just want to get healed as quickly as possible so that I can actually return to all the heavy lifting that I was doing beforehand, and hopefully I'll be doing it even better. I mean, I've thought about all kinds of things about how, like, the damage to the muscles of my upper back has probably really prevented me from a higher ceiling with my deadlift. It's also really prevented me with my front squat because the rhomboids in upper back is used, as a stabilizer for that exercise. And if they're weak on one side, that was always the first thing to go. I guess this might be normal for most people, but first thing to go when I was trying to front squat heavy, above like 230, I'd really start to lean forward because my back couldn't keep that stabilization. So I'm really hoping that all this treatment, in let's see, I can't do math very quickly, arithmetic at least. So if it's, let's say 10 weeks, so if it's 3 sessions, then that's over the course of 30 weeks, and it'll be probably another 10 weeks, or yeah, I'll say another 10 weeks before I can really start to go back to heavy. So 40 weeks. So that's like 10 months, before I'm like back to being able to like really lift heavy. But once again, what I'm hoping is that my ceiling will be a lot higher than what it is right now, because I think beforehand I'd reached about as heavy as I could go. I couldn't really get much heavier. That's what I'm hoping for. I will definitely record not all 10 minutes of me on the treadmill, but I'll do something and to document the occasion. So tune in until next time. If you have any questions or anything, please ask in the comments. I sometimes talk about things and I know that I kind of gloss over or certain details and stuff just because I forget that people might not know what I'm talking about. So, but I'd be happy to explain anything about the prolotherapy process, or just, what I used to do beforehand, or how I got it, or any questions you have. I'd be more than happy to help. This is something that I really want to do. Help other people by informing them about prolotherapy. I mean, that's why I'm doing this vlog. So, anyway, this is Adam. I'm signing off, and I'll see y'all on Friday.